Everything is white, featureless. You stand here, yet you feel no ground beneath your feet, no wind on your skin. Why are you here? What is this place? In fact, who are you? You don't know, do you? Well, focus on what you can see. White. Just white. You move and the boundless white moves with you. It doesn't change. It doesn't end. No walls. No floors. No exits. What kind of place is this? Makes you wish there was a door. Something cut through the endless white. Something dark. Real. Tangible. Oh, there's a door! Oh! Did you do that? You step closer to the door. It's there and it's real. You reach out, turn the knob and pull. Does it lead anywhere? You know, it will be really sad. Oh, it leads to nothing. Well, it's a start at least. Maybe if we just wish it led somewhere out of here. Maybe not. Maybe that's too much. For now, at least. But there are other things you could wish for. Other ways you could cut through the endless white. Maybe ask someone for help. Things won't be so bad if you aren't alone. Well, oh, person! Cool! You did it again! You don't know how you're doing it. Well, you don't need to. Just think hard about what you want. Try to talk to them now. Okay. Hello! I need some help. Do you know where we are? Can you help me get out of here? Never mind then. Well, not very talkative, are they? Not very anything, really. So, what are you going to do now? You could tackle things head on. Try to change the white world directly. Paint it over with colors. But maybe it won't be so bad. So, what will you do? Ooh, make it feel familiar, make this world feel magical, make this world unlike anything I've ever seen, or leave it blank. Well, there's about 6 endings for this. So we're gonna go through all of them, so let's go right into it. Let's make this world feel familiar. Oh, wow. Ah, that's a nice breeze. It carries the scent of grass, flowers, and warm earth. You can't smell it? I suppose you wouldn't. Good job in any case. Things aren't so eerie now, are they? Why don't you walk around? Observe your own creation. See what you can find. They're still here. They're not doing much, are they? Just being. Moving slightly. There's more than one. How many do you think there might be? Hundreds? They can't see you. Maybe they can't see anything. You think they look like ghosts? Well, they're a lot like this world, aren't they? Maybe if you wish to, you can change them. How? Oh my god! Like, literally, like, the plot of this game is, I can change them! Well, why don't you think about it? It might be nice to make one into someone to talk to. Someone tangible. You can talk to me? Well, not really. I'm not really. Think about it. Wouldn't your time here be more pleasant with a companion? Isn't it scary being alone? What if I don't want to? Like, narrator, you're all I need, narrator. Really? But you've made such a comfortable world. Don't you want someone to share it with? Well, if you're sure. But you know, your wish seeps through, even if you don't say it out loud. You don't really want to be alone. You were never meant to be alone. Then, it's time for me to go. Good luck. Wait, what? Before you, the shade ripples and shifts, somehow gaining sustenance. The man stares at you, his eyes glassy and gray. Despite him having a body, he still appears to be formless, incomplete. His mouth opens and his hand reaches out, but no words are said. Hello? He takes a slight step back as if startled. His eyes still meet yours, seeming to search for something. His mouth opens once more and a sound comes out. It's raspy, stained, and unintelligible. I don't understand what you're saying. The shade takes another step, and it's now your turn to take a step back. You don't want him to grab hold of you. You don't know why, but the thought of it makes you feel complete, utter dread. Like his touch will bring you death, like it would be the end. The voice that spoke to you is gone, and the world feels emptier than ever before. Now it's just you and the shade. He tries to speak again, and the horrible sounds that leave his mouth makes you wince. Is this your fault? You half-heartedly brought him to life. He looks half-heartedly made too. Maybe you feel guilt for an instant, regret. Maybe you should wish for him to be better, wish for him to be complete. But then he reaches again, and his index finger briefly makes contact with your form. A disgusted shiver runs through you. His touch feels like it might unravel you. Is this what he's trying to do? Don't come any closer! Your command shocks him, and his blurry eyes widen. But he still approaches. You take a stumbling step back. You don't want to turn your back to him, but neither do you want to face him any longer. You bolt when his hand reaches once more. Why would I run away? He's cute. Well, that's what I say to just about anyone I meet. Why is it that you're not tired? You've been running for so long. There's no way to keep time, of course, but it feels like hours. The shade has followed. At times he disappears, and you take a rest, despite your body not needing one. There are plants and stones for you to hide behind here, so when you stop running, you hide. When the shade's hand reaches through your hiding spot for you, you rise and run again. How many times have you gone through this routine now? You're never out of breath. Your legs aren't sore, heavy, or tense, despite how much you run. You're not even sweating. Are you even breathing? Then this must be a dream, a nightmare. And the shade is a beast who carries death. How long will it be until you wake? How much longer must you do this? You're resting again, though. Your body doesn't need it, but your mind welcomes the calm. You walk in the open. How nice it is just to walk. If you close your eyes, you can almost imagine that you are alone. Oh my god, he's here. He's back, and he's still hot. Does he look more desperate than he did before? He moves his mouth still, and you're fortunately too far from him to hear the gurgles and creaks of his dreadful throat. It feels like if you heard him, and if his speech made sense to you, you would never be free of this place. So you turn on your heels and run again. Why would I run? I mean, heck, if I'm never gonna leave this place, at least I've got this cute guy to like chill with. More than hours must have passed. It feels like days, weeks. The shade's sounds are more lengthy now. He strings them together, almost like words. Almost. He's come close to catching you many times. Yet when he's close enough to touch you, he always stops. His hand hangs in the air, not daring to reach any further, as if he doesn't want to harm you. But that's not possible. His words will never harm you more than anything in this world. And here he is again. His mouth opens, and you turn on your heels, ready to run. Stop! You freeze. Why? Why does it feel like you know his voice? No, you can't possibly know it. His gaze meets yours. Why does he look so relieved that you've stopped? Why does he look at you this way? Desperately. Hungrily. Please, stay. It's difficult for him to speak, and each word seems to cut through his throat. He seems to be in so much pain. Then why? Why does he keep trying? His gaze, though blurry, is entirely focused on you. He wants something from you. He wants you. His eyes narrow like those of a beast observing prey. His lips move once more. Keep run. I have no choice but to keep running. Alright, you turn and run. Please, don't. I ain't hearing any of this. I'm going. His voice fades as more distance is put between you. And from now on, things are the same. Run, stop, run, stop, run again. The world unravels, slowly at first, like threads hanging from woven fabric being pulled at. Eventually, it all fades into white once more. He continues chasing you, and he continues speaking. His speech gets a bit faster every time. You hear more words and feel more terror. You don't want to hear it. How much time passes? How deep does this despair go? Well, it doesn't matter. Because eventually, you forget. The white swallows you whole, and everything begins anew. You know, if this wasn't like terrifying enough for you guys, I don't know. So, what are you gonna do now? You could tackle things head on. Try to change the white world directly. Paint it over with colors. Then maybe it won't be so bad. So, what will you do? Yeah, I want to make this world magical. Heck yeah. Alright, let's do it. Ooh, it looks kind of like Elden Ring. Interesting. Well, everything looks like Elden Ring to me at this point. It's a nice choice. Very inspiring. How did you think of something like this? I suppose you wouldn't remember. Good job in any case. Things aren't so eerie now, are they? Why don't you walk around? Observe your own creation. See what you can find. They're still here. They're not doing much, are they? Just being. Moving slightly. There's more than one. How many do you think there might be? Hundreds? They can't see you. Maybe they can't see anything. You think they look like ghosts? Well, they're a lot like this world, aren't they? Maybe if you wish to, you can change them. How? Well, why don't you think about it? It might be nice to make one into someone to talk to. Someone tangible. You can talk to me? Well, not really. I'm not really. Think about it. Wouldn't your time here be more pleasant with a companion? Isn't it scary being alone? Yeah, I'll make a companion. Then, what kind of companion do you wish for? Ooh, someone to provide me with material things, or someone who can take me on exciting adventures? I would rather have someone who can take me on adventures. I mean, we are in a magical land. Then it's time for me to go. Good luck. Before you, the shade ripples and shifts, somehow getting substance. The man before you smiles brightly. Well met. He looks around slightly. What a beautiful place. I can only imagine what treasures and secrets it holds. Why have you summoned me? I want to go on adventures. This world is empty and boring, so I need to make it exciting. His lips stretch into a wider smile. Wonderful. I have many ideas. We'll need equipment, of course, and locations to explore, as well as people to encounter. He looks around, catching sight of a few of the other shades. His brow twitches slightly. Perhaps he remembers being like them and is upset by it. He makes no mention of that, however. They will do well enough as mindless assistants and enemies. You may tweak them slightly, give them a script to follow. He steps closer to you, his eyes sparkling with excitement. There's so much to prepare. We should begin our task. With the Shade's guidance, you wish for a wide array of items to aid in your upcoming adventures. You also alter the Shade for your needs. Unlike your companion, their shape doesn't change, but they at least seem to now register their surroundings and obey commands. The world you already made is well suited to your endeavors, so it remains as it is. Alright, sweet. All the while, the Shade acts warmly, visibly pleased with your company and excited by your task. He hardly seems confused by the place you're in, or your power over it. So you relax too. Focus on setting grounds for your adventures. Man, we're gonna go on a magical adventure. Holy heck. How much time passes? You have no way to keep time here. You've created a sun, but it never moves through the sky, never sets. Birds sing in the trees without ever stopping. The breeze is even and slightly warm, no matter where you go. Your adventures largely take place in nature. They largely take place in the same places, in fact. You've already been on this path. You've already walked it in search of treasure, ran on it towards an enemy, stopped on it to talk to a Shade in a friendly role. But your world is limited, really. Your world has boundaries still. In some areas, the endless white reappears. The Shade suggests to leave them alone. Your energy must be spent on your adventures and those that can be had in the world you already have, with the items you've already made and the shades you've already tweaked. You shouldn't create anything else. Why bother? You have everything you need already. You've realized you've only got one set of clothes. You're not quite sure what they look like, as you're not quite sure what you look like either. But you've wondered if you shouldn't change your outfit, shouldn't you sweat? You've asked the Shade about this. About your body. How you don't get tired. Why? Is it a dream? Should dreams last that long? Does that mean you might wake up? Perhaps. The Shade told you it's part of the magic of it. Wouldn't your adventures be slowed down if you needed rest? Wouldn't it be bothersome if you needed a change of clothes? Isn't this the perfect adventure? You suppose it is perfect. The Shades need to be told what to do and the world must be prepared. So he and you must plan each quest in advance. And then it plays out flawlessly according to the script without any mistake. Without any surprises. Without anything of interest. By your side, the Shade touches your arm, pulling you out of your thoughts. You should take care to stay focused. We are on our way to a great battle after all. We could even be ambushed. But not really. We know what's going to happen. I mean, I am the god of this world. His expression falters slightly. Well, we have to. The Shades have no will of their own. He grows agitated and stops in his tracks. Yeah? Yeah, friend? I can organize the next adventure by myself. I'll think of something. Something you won't expect. No, it's fine. Are you not having fun? We've gone on so many adventures, found so many treasures. And have made those treasures. And we keep hiding and finding the same ones. It's just repetitive. But what else are we supposed to do? Good question. I don't know. Let's just keep going. For now. He still follows, nervously hovering behind you. He's visibly upset and should probably apologize. He's your only companion after all. Can you really afford to upset him? Oh my god, there goes the world again! Everything's going white! Oh wait, never mind, the world's back to normal. More time passes and things continue as they are. Scripted. Boring. The Shade stands by your side, walking back from a recently finished adventure. He doesn't let you plan the quest anymore. He says he wants to surprise you. The quests are always the same. Walk to the same places, find something, fight something. It's just like, it's kind of like Skyrim, I know. There are even fewer places to go to now. Shade looks to the endless white with concern, and it draws closer. The world seems to be unraveling, and so is the Shade. He nervously walks by your side, glancing between you and the endless white. Did you have fun? I truly tried to make this one different. Your silence agitates him further. I can improve if you give me guidance. Should I make the next one longer? More complex? We could recruit more Shades. I'm sure there are some left. What difference would it make? None of this is real. None of it matters. Everything we do, it just builds up to nothing. It's meaningless. And it's going to end soon, isn't it? You look beyond him, at the boundary where the white eats away at your world. It won't last forever. It'll all come crashing down. Please. It will go on if you just wish for it to. If you could just be happy with this, with me. If you could just be satisfied with things I did for you. Before, you used to dream, no? You dreamed of great adventures, of magic, mystery, and romance. You dreamed of being the protagonist, destined for something and set on a clear path. Stories were more simple than your life. The obstacles were frightening, but the same heroes always prevailed. Life was overly complicated and mundane all the same time. But you enjoyed it, didn't you? It wasn't all good. It wasn't all bad. Do you remember? Satisfied? Is this what life is supposed to be about? Just being satisfied. Nothing we do even matters. I can't feel my body. I can't see my body. It doesn't matter. He yells out, and the world seems to shake. It's gotten so small. There's not enough room left for all the Shades. They hover around you, and the Shade tries to brush them off in vain. Just stop thinking about it. Please. He reaches for you through the other Shades. What are you even doing here? Hovering, walking, like going somewhere, fulfilling a task, all clad in white. The Shade's hand can't reach you anymore. Too many white stands between you. I think this is ending. No! No, please! Take my hand! No. I want it to end. Oh my god. It always ends like this. White. It's the normal state of this world. Do you know why? It's because of you, you know? White. White is something you're used to. The world is completely white again. The shade disappears. The world unravels. You forget. Here you are again. You don't remember being here before? Of course you don't. You never do. So, what are you going to do now? You could tackle things head on. Try to change the white world directly. Paint it over with colors. But maybe it won't be so bad. Green's a good color, isn't it? Lively. Like a lush, deep forest. A bit too lively, you think? Yeah, that can be dangerous. So, what will you do? Make this world unlike anything I've seen before. Like, surprise me! Alright. How strange. No, it's not a bad choice. It's just unusual. How did you think of something like this? I suppose you wouldn't remember. Good job in any case. Things aren't so eerie now, are they? Why don't you walk around? Observe your own creation. See what you can find. They're still here! They're not doing much, are they? Just being. Moving slightly. There's more than one. How many do you think there might be? Hundreds? They can't see you. Maybe they can't see anything. You think they look like ghosts? Well, they're a lot like this world, aren't they? Maybe if you wish to, you can change them. How? Well, why don't you think about it? It might be nice to make it into someone you talk to. Someone tangible. You can't talk to me? Well, not really. I know, narrator. Like heck, you don't need to tell me about this again. Alright, let's make a companion. Then, what kind of companion do you wish for? Someone who can fill this world with wondrous things. Then it's time for me to go. Good luck. And what's the shade gonna turn into? Before you, the shade ripples and shifts, somehow getting substance. Oh, hello! The man before you smiles lightly. Ah, what a pleasant sight. He looks around slightly. And so is the world you've made. How creative you are. His eyes return to your form. Am I to aid you in some way? I want to fill this world with creations. I need your help. His lips stretch into a knowing smile. Yes, I expected as much. Then, what is it that you wish for? Together, you imagine strange, wonderful things, many of them bearing no names or resemblance to things you already know. Some are easier to explain. The shade seems to favor colorful, magical birds, which fly in the sky happily. They land on strange flowers which bloom on the ground. The world you already made seems to please the shade, so you leave it as it is. All the while, the shade acts warmly, visibly pleased by your company and the things you've created. He hardly seems confused by the place you're in, or your power over it. So you relax too and focus on creating strange and wonderful things. My god, so we're just gonna make the whole world into magic then? Sweet. How much time passes? You have no way to keep up here. You've created a sun, but it never moves through the sky and never sets. The shade's birds sing continuously, never needing to rest. The weather never changing, always comfortably warm. Like the birds, you never leave the spot. Your world has boundaries still. In some areas, the endless white reappears. The shade suggests to ignore it and focus on your creations. The world matters less than your lively, animated creations. So you do. You create flowers for the already full field, birds flying into the already full sky, critters and bees that walk into the distance. Into the white, away from you. The shade tells you that it's fine. You gave them life, but you don't need them by your side. And you have no need for sleep. You've never slept, eaten, drank, done anything you know you should need. Why? Is it a dream? Should dreams last this long? Does that mean you might wake up? The shade told you are both gods, and gods don't need sleep. You don't feel like a god. You make things you care little for. Maybe it was fun at first, but now it's become an eerie routine. You make something, it leaves your side, you make the next thing. Each thing you create feels less inspired, less creative, a copy of the last thing, but a little worse. By your side, the shade touches your arm, pulling you out of your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Can we do something else? This is a bit boring. His expression falters slightly. What else could we possibly do? The world still has a lot of blank areas. Maybe if we made them into something, we could find out more about this place. He interrupts you, speaking in a harsh tone. What is there to know? We are gods in our divine garden. Is that not enough for you? His sudden outburst is uncharacteristic. In the time you spent together, he's been a happy, warm man. But now his brow is knit in anger and his hands are wrapped tightly around the bird he's begun to create. I'm sorry. He falls silent, focusing on his craft. His eyes don't meet yours again. He's visibly upset, and you should probably apologize. He's your only companion, after all. Can you really afford to upset him? I guess. We could always reset the world. That just seems like something we've been doing all this while. More time passes, and things continue as they are. You create the same things as before. The exact same things. The shade sits by your side, as he always does. He still creates the birds, but he no longer sets them free. They sit in a multitude of cages, some large, some small. They no longer sing. Some of the ones that were created earlier and released into the world have vanished, and so have some of the flowers. The endless white eats at them and swallows them whole. It draws ever closer. The world seems to be unraveling, and so is the shade. He looks up from his task and speaks. You're not making anything? No. If you have no ideas of your own, you can help me. How? He motions to the caged birds. I could use more cages. Why are you keeping them in those? Didn't you say our creatures don't need to stay by our side? His eyes narrow and his gaze darkens. I previously thought so. I thought I could be detached, an observer, creating, then only watching on. But I cannot suffer for the things I love to be taken from me. He pauses, then gives you a pointed look. So craft the cages. I'm in need of them. No. I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to do this anymore. His previously calm expression contorts into a grimace. Are you still upset over what we discussed? Your desire to sleep, eat, do those useless things that amount to nothing at all? It's not useless, it's enjoyable. Do you not understand the price they come with? Suffering, death. He motions to the world around you. You'd rather be weak and mortal than have this world of our own making? You look beyond him at the boundary where the white eats away at your world. It won't last forever. It'll all come crashing down. This world is dying too. Only because you don't appreciate it. It would be fine if you could only be satisfied. Before, you used to dream, no? Of creating beautiful things. But not life, creatures, and divine things you made here. No, simple things. Colors on paper, clay given shape, words on a page. It was difficult. You felt ashamed at times that your creations weren't exactly what you pictured them to be. That you weren't as good as the others. That you weren't as skilled or clever or creative. That you wouldn't be remembered after you. But you enjoyed it, didn't you? It wasn't all good, and it wasn't all bad. Do you remember? Satisfied? Is this what life is supposed to be about? Just being satisfied? I don't think so. He rises from his seat, dropping his creation on the ground, lifeless. Why must you be so stubborn? You've wished for this, but what? You've changed your mind? Something emerges from the ground around you. Oh my god, it's a cage. A cage. If being my fellow god isn't satisfying to you, then you will live to be my songbird. I think you'll be happier this way. And then things can last forever. Beyond the bars, beyond the shade, the endless white lurks, ready to devour. Oh my god. If only it were that easy. Didn't someone cling to you like this before? Didn't they wish for you to stay? But life doesn't work that way. No, life doesn't last forever. No. It's already come to an end. The boundless white devours your surroundings instantly, as if summoned by your words. The shade himself seems to get swallowed by it. Maybe you are too. His hand reaches for your cage through the white, but it misses. Something pulls you away from each other, and the farther the shade gets, the more white stands between you. The shade disappears. The whirl unravels. You forget, as I always do. Another go. Are you starting to remember? No? I don't know why I asked. You've never remembered anything. You remember something white? Well, that's all there is here. Somewhere else, you mean? Ah, so, what are you going to do now? You could tackle things head on, or I could just skip ahead. Pink's a good color, isn't it? The colors of love. Too much love can be a bad thing. You're not wrong. So, what will you do? Well, I guess I'm gonna leave the world blank for now. Really? Why? You have a lot of power here. You don't want to use it? Or are you scared? What is it? The world feels a little different now. More tense? Yeah, maybe it has wishes and wants too. It's okay. Your wishes are the most powerful here. They're still here! I'm gonna turn you into a companion. Then why did you leave this world blank? You don't care about the world, but you can't bear to be alone? Then what kind of companion do you wish for? Ooh, someone who can make me feel safe. Then it's time for me to go. Good luck. Before you, the shade ripples and shifts, somehow gaining substance. My God, you are dapper! The man before you smiles confidently. Lovely to meet you. He looks around slightly. His eyes return to your form. Now, what is it that you desire? I just want to fill the emptiness with pleasant things. It's so bare here. His lips stretch into a wider smile. My thoughts exactly. We've got some work ahead of us, then, don't we? A home will be a good place to start. He looks around, catching sight of a few other shades. His brow twitches slightly. Perhaps he remembers being like them and is upset by it. He makes no mention of that, however. We'll need workers, servants, and shades that will fulfill that role if you only tweak them slightly. But let us begin with some chairs. You would not want to stand as we discuss our plans. It only takes a short amount of time for you to wish for seats. Sitting on them hardly feels like anything, but that could be a testament of their comfortableness. With the shade's guidance, you wish for a wide array of items. You also take the shade into your service. Unlike your companions, their shape doesn't change, but they at least seem to now register their surroundings. The world you made, though beautiful, seems to upset the shade. It's hardly suited to your home, he explains. So you change it, weaving a familiar, safe world. Does this disappoint you? Did you want a more exciting world? Is this your wish or his? I have no clue. It doesn't matter. This world is now safe. All the while, the shade acts warmly, visibly pleased with your company and the world you're making. He hardly seems confused by the place you're in, or your power over it. So you relax too, and focus on crafting a more comfortable world. Well, let's make it into Cozy Town then, shall we? Alright. How much time passes? You have no way to keep time here. You've created a sun, but it never moves through the sky, never sets. Birds sing in the trees without ever stopping. The breeze is always light and pleasant. Though you have a home, you spend most of your time here in nature. The home is comfortable too. That was your design after all. It's a large mansion full of rich furniture, ornaments, and servants tending to your needs. Not that you have many of those. You and the shade occupy yourselves with fun activities. You read, listen to music, dance, take walks outside, but the shade is careful not to walk too far. Your world has boundaries still. In some areas, the endless white reappears. He doesn't want you to do anything to it, however. Why bother? You have everything you need already. The house has no food whatsoever. It has a kitchen and some of the shades stand there, motionless because there's nothing to do. You don't eat. Why? Is it a dream? Should dreams last that long? Does that mean you might wake up? I hope so! You've asked the shade why neither of you have the need for food or drinks or sleep. He smiled. His hand reached for yours and he asked if you'd like to have another dance. You've grown close in the time you spent together. He seems to care for you. Love you, maybe. He treats you well and makes sure that you never have to lift a finger. This includes creating things. You've not made any items for your home in a while. Shame. It was exciting, wasn't it? Here you are. Take care not to catch a cold. He gently places a shawl on your shoulders, but you hardly feel it. Would you like me to bring the seat out for you? It'd be more comfortable than standing. Why? It's not like I can feel tired or be in pain or hungry or feel anything at all. You stop when his expression falls. His eyes only narrow for a brief moment, quickly replaced with a strained smile. Let's see. He'll leave you be. He steps back into your home with a slow, heavy step. You must have hurt his feelings. You wonder if you should apologize. He's your only companion after all. Can you really afford to upset him? Well, perhaps. I have no idea. I mean, heck, this world resets anyway. More time passes and things continue as they are. Comfortable. Boring. The shade stands by your side, out in front of the house. You used to have those moments to yourself, but not anymore. He's become more quiet. He speaks very little, but he watches you in your every move. He's tossed the shades for following you too. You haven't been allowed to be alone for a long time. He ignores the endless white, despite it growing closer. The world seems to be unraveling, and so is the shade. For once, he speaks. The wind feels cold today. Does it? To you, it feels as unremarkable as ever. We should get back in. I'm fine. You go in. Then I'll at least get you a shawl. He turns, and maybe you should simply let him go, but you can't stop yourself from speaking up. I don't need it. I don't feel cold. I won't get ill. I told you, I don't feel anything. Why are you pretending not to hear it? Why are you ignoring this? His gaze loses itself into the distance. I thought you only want to be comfortable. You have things. Why should you need to feel? He turns towards you, meeting your gaze again. Some disturbance shades appears, as if called. I can't give you feelings. I can't. For that, you need to be. He cuts himself off, turning to one of the shades. What would I need to be? He motions something to the servant, and several of them rush towards you. They seize you, you're not sure how, as they are formless. But as they do, they pull you towards the home, despite your attempts to free yourself. We're going back inside. But I don't want... You do. You wish for this. He looks in the distance. There are no comforts left out here. So let's head in. As they pull you in, you look beyond them, at a boundary where the white eats away at your world. It won't last forever. It'll all come crashing down. As it always does. We're inside now. You're in the house now. What's left of it? The endless white is devouring it, slowly. You're kept in a single room, despite the size of your home. You do nothing here. You wait. The shade visits, but his visits aren't what you wait for. You simply wait for the end. The shade enters the room, locking the door behind himself. He steps closer to you, then sits by your side. How are you today? You don't respond. You rarely do. The shade has no choice but to be the talkative one now. Have you thought about our discussion? I'm asking for so little, especially compared to all that I give you. All you have to do is be satisfied with this. And why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be happy? I gave you everything anyone could ever want. Before, you used to struggle, no? You didn't have much money. You couldn't wish for things into existence. You had to work, think, save, and that only achieved so much. It was stressful. Often it felt unfair. Others had everything they wished for, without even having to try. Others had even less than you, despite their best efforts. The world wasn't equal or fair, and comfort was rare, valued thing in your life. But you enjoyed it, didn't you? It wasn't all good, and it wasn't all bad. Do you remember? Satisfied? Is this what life is supposed to be about? Just being satisfied? I think something is wrong here. Stop thinking about that! You've got everything you need here. Everything you could ever dream of. You have all of these things. Servants to wait on you. No concerns. And you have my love. His hand grasps yours. It feels like nothing. Like air. Please. Please. Stop wishing for anything more. Just accept this and stay by my side. No. I want to understand what this place is. Ayo? Oh. That's good. It's good that you want to understand why you're here. Why you've been here for so long. But it's a little too early. Keep going. Everything will fall into place soon. The boundless white devours the room instantly, as if summoned by words. The shade himself seems to get swallowed by it. Maybe you are too. His hand reaches for yours through the white, but it misses. Something pulls you away from each other, and the farther the shade gets, the more white stands between you. Well, the shade disappears. The world unravels. You forget. Anything now? Remember being in pain? Yeah, that did happen. So, what are you going to do now? You could tackle things head on, or I could just skip ahead. Blue is a good color, isn't it? Calming, like a cloudless sky, or the sea. You don't want to be calm? Well, it's your choice. So, what will you do? Let's get back to something that feels familiar. I think this will be a good place for the final person. Ah, that's a nice breeze. It carries the scent of grass, flowers, and warm earth. And yeah, it's as nice as it is, I do want to get straight to the next guy. Let's make a companion. Then, what kind of companion do you wish for? Let's see. Someone who can provide me with material things. Then, it's time for me to go. Good luck. Before you, the shade ripples and shifts, somehow gaining substance. Him again? You're not expecting the second time to work, are you? It won't. But if you want to hang on to him a little longer, feel free. Don't. In fact, like, let's skip ahead. Because apparently, I think there was a little bit of a bug earlier. Because someone who can give you material things is supposed to be the blue dude. And someone who makes you feel safe is the one with sunshine. So let's go back. The man before you bears a nervous smile. Hello? Oh gosh, you're cute. Hello. His smile brightens and he looks around him. What a lovely place. His eyes return to your form. It's nice to meet you. I'm glad to be here. A bold claim from such a shy man. What is it that you like to do? What? He hesitates, his gaze shifting once more. What do you wish for me to do? I just want to feel safe, comfortable. This place is really unsettling. He nods eagerly. I'll help. It won't be difficult to make this place a bit more welcoming. How about a home? Somewhere to sit and have some tea? A warm smile floats on his lips as he lists off more things. Most of them small, all of them unthreatening. You sit with him, your bodies close, slowly, carefully. You wish for things, warm and comfortable. A house to live in, furniture to make your life pleasant, ornaments to make it pretty, surroundings to make it feel grounded. The world you already made is well suited to your endeavors, so it remains as it is. All the while, the shade acts warmly, visibly happy that he is by your side. He hardly seems confused by the place you're in, or by the power you have over it. So you relax too and focus on crafting a more comfortable world. Back to cozy vibes. Heck, I wonder how twisted it's gonna get later. How much time passes? You have no way to keep time here. You've created a sun, but it never moves through the sky, never sets. Birds sing in the trees without ever stopping. A lake remains still nearby, never reflecting anything but a calm spring scenery. So you have a home. You spend most of your time here in nature. The home is comfortable too, what with your design after all. It's a warm, bright place where you and the shade live happily without any concerns. You talk, you read, you sit, you play games. You take walks outside too, but the shade is careful not to walk too far. The world has boundaries still. In some areas, the endless white reappears. He doesn't want you to do anything to it, however. Why bother? You have everything you need already. The house has no mirrors. You've asked about making some. Shouldn't the house have mirrors? You've asked about your appearance. You've not seen yourself a single time since you've come here. When you look down, you don't see any hands or a body. Why? Is it a dream? Should dreams last that long? Does that mean you might wake up? Maybe. The shade said you don't need to see yourself because he can tell you how wonderful you look. He easily gives you a bunch of compliments. His cheeks are warm when he looks at you, and he spends all of his time by your side. He's shy still, but strangely assertive at times. Like when he tells you not to create anything else, not to go to the endless white, not desire anything more than his comfortable life, free of troubles or strife. You're only alone when you step outside. He lets you have those moments to yourself. The moments are short, however. Here you are! Are you really enjoying the weather? He sits by your side on the grass. Let's step back in soon. Why? The weather won't change. The sun won't set. We don't eat. We don't sleep. You stop when his expression falls. His eyes narrow and bear something dark that you've seen in them before, and his voice is uncharacteristically harsh. Why not? You wanted safety. You wanted me to make you feel safe. I'm giving you what you asked for. Why are you trying to run away from it now? You hesitate, and he softens, turning his gaze to the side. I understand. I'm boring. You've grown sick of me. No, I'm not sick of you. But you don't want to come in and spend time together? No, I will. Let's go in. He brightens so quickly that you wonder if his previous mood was genuine. You try to ignore your concerns. The shade is the only companion you have. Can you really afford to doubt him? Well, probably. I mean, we're gonna find out what's the actual lore behind all this soon enough. Alright. More time passes and things continue as they are. Safe. Boring. The shade stands by your side, out in the front of the house. You used to have those moments to yourself, but not anymore. He's become more nervous, agitated. He looks to the endless white with concern, and he draws closer. The world seems to be unraveling, and so is the shade. He wears a smile like a mask, trying to conceal his growing anxiety. Hey, what are you thinking about? Nothing. His smile twitches. I see. He waits for several seconds, then speaks up again. I was thinking about how happy I am. Things are good, aren't they? He asks this with obvious desperation. It's safe here. It's comfortable. I make you feel safe, right? Just like you wish for. His hands, held close to his body, begin to shake. I did everything you asked. I acted the way you needed me to. I made this world with you, and it's safe, and it'll be like this forever. You look beyond him at the boundary where the white eats away at your world. It won't last forever. It'll all come crashing down. He steps closer, forcing you to focus on him. Please, look at me. Please. I promise everything will be fine. If you just stay happy, stay by my side, if you stop wishing for more than this. He cuts himself off, like he's trying to contain something. Please, just be satisfied with this. Be satisfied with me. Before, you used to change, no? To grow older, to make different choices. Sometimes your choices were the wrong ones and life got more complicated and you were unhappy. Sometimes life got bad all by itself without warning. There was no safety. But you enjoyed it, didn't you? It wasn't all good. It wasn't all bad. Do you remember? Satisfied? Is this what life is supposed to be about? Just being satisfied? I don't even know what I look like. It doesn't matter. Stop thinking about that. His hands reaches for you and you step back. Why? Why are you so opposed to me seeing my reflection? You just don't need to. Please, you... Is there something wrong with the way I look? No. He reaches out again, and this time you turn away. The house has no mirrors, but the lake stands further out, reflecting the calm trees and sunlight. Wait, don't! You run and he follows, begging you to stop. You reach the side of the lake and gaze at its surface. Oh. Were you not ready yet? You don't understand what you saw? It's okay. You just need more time. You'll understand soon. You enter the lake suddenly and quietly. Did you fall? Were you pushed? The shade kneels over to the side of the lake's surface. He frantically reaches for you, his arms reaching out into the water. Oh my god. You sink and his face becomes less clear and more water stands between the two of you. You don't need to breathe, so you're not drowning. Oh jeez. The water turns into an endless white. The more you sink, the more it envelops you. The shade disappears. The world unravels. You forget. It's taking you longer than I thought. Well, we've got all the time in the world. How many times have we done this now? Lost count. I don't expect you to keep count, no. You've got enough to worry about. So, what are you going to do now? You could tackle things head on. Try to change the white world directly. Paint it over with colors. Then maybe it won't be so bad. Yellow's a good color, isn't it? Warm, comforting, like the sun on a spring day. It's cold, you say? I suppose it can be. Maybe you can leave it white, though. I know it's scary. I know you're confused, but maybe. Maybe it's time to stop running. We've got to face it eventually, you know? You have to face him. You don't know what I'm talking about? It's okay. It's okay to forget. You've been doing that for a long time. So, what will you do? I'm gonna leave it blank. Yeah, it's time, isn't it? You're doing well. They're still here. You're not doing much, are they? Just being, moving slightly. There's more than one. How many do you think there might be? Hundreds? They can't see you. Maybe they can't see anything. You think they look like ghosts? Well, they're a lot like this world, aren't they? Maybe if you wish to, you can change them. How? Well, why don't you think about it? It might be nice to make one into someone to talk to. Someone tangible. You could talk to me? Well, not really. I'm not really... Think about it. Would your time here be more pleasant with a companion? Isn't it scary being alone? I don't want to. I see. So you're ready then. Maybe you didn't understand yet. Maybe you still don't know. But it's okay. You'll be okay. Then it's time for me to go. Good luck. Alright. Before you initiate ripples and shifts, somehow gaining substance. The man stares at you, his eyes glassy and gray. Despite him having a body, he still appears to be formless, incomplete. His mouth opens and his hand reaches out, but no words are said. Hello? It takes a slight step back, as if startled. His eyes meet yours, seeming to search for something. Okay, we're gonna skip ahead to see, like, if there's anything different this time. You've heard many versions of this voice. It's been bright, arrogant, cheerful, disappointed. But despair suits it better. Yeah, desperate is what you remember his voice to be. Are you ready to remember everything? It'll hurt. But we've been putting it off for a very long time. Maybe it's finally time. Well, let's do it then. His gaze meets yours. Why does he look so relieved that you've stopped? Why does he look at you this way? Desperately. Hungrily. Please. Stay. It's difficult for him to speak, and each word seems to cut through his throat. He seems to be in so much pain. And why? Why does he keep trying? How many times has he tried? How much has he suffered? His lips move once more. I'm going to listen. He hesitates, seemingly surprised that you're still standing there. I have waited. He touches his throat. Rather than pain, he seems upset that his words are coming out so slowly. Waited for you. He pauses. Do you remember me yet? The question is accompanied by an incredibly sad expression. Shade, no, this man. Who is he to you? I'm sorry. I don't understand who you are or why we're here. I don't even remember who I am. His shoulders sag. I see. Do you remember the other me's? You acquiesce. I vaguely remember. For men and the worlds we crafted together. But all ended so terribly and I remember so little. I forget each time and all I have are fragments and a feeling. There's something terribly wrong, isn't there? He nods, and the movements cause his tears to run free. Yes, but this is the first time. His voice breaks. Sorry. It's all right. Do you want to sit? Take your time to speak. I'll listen. His eyes widen in disbelief. Quickly, as if expecting you to change your mind, he sits on the ground. You sit down by his side. Your body's almost touching. You wait for a long time, but you've got more than enough of that, don't you? After some time, his word comes out. A little more easily, seemingly with less pain. Do you remember anything before this? Not anything big, just feelings. Remember that my life isn't easy, that I don't have much money to spare. I think I like to paint and read. He nods eagerly. Do you know me? From before? He hesitates. I do. I have to ask. I have to ask you something. He's silent for some time, and his voice is weak when he speaks again. Do you remember dying? I think I died a few times here. No. Before, we both died. That's how we got here. Yeah. Do you remember now? I don't understand. We can't be dead. But don't you remember? Life before. Our life. I don't remember anything about myself. My name, what I liked, what I dreamed of. But I remember you. Do you remember being ill? You remember the pain, don't you? I don't remember the time before you were ill. All I remember is the bed you laid on, the white sheets, the white halls, the endless wine. But I'm here. I'm conscious, and you're here. But you don't feel anything, do you? And we don't sleep, don't eat, don't tire. He looks at you up and down, his brow knit. Once more he hesitates before speaking, and his voice grows more quiet, as if that would lessen the blow. And you don't have a body. I don't. You try to look down at yourself, but all you see is white. You've never seen yourself here, but not having a body? How are you moving? How are you speaking? You must have a body. You're still refusing to see it. Do you not remember your reflection in the lake? There was nothing there. Just another shade. You're a shade? But the shades can't talk, and they don't have free will. I can change the world. I can make things. I'm not. You're special. You always were. I remember you were special to me. When you were ill, you were in so much pain. And I felt pain too. So I'm dead? That's it? We're dead? And where? In hell? He freezes, seemingly never had that thought. Hell? I don't know. Do you think this is hell? Isn't it? I keep forgetting. I keep making you into someone. It's you every time, isn't it? I keep making you, and we keep arguing, and I die again and again, and it starts over and over. But this is the first time. The first time you spoke to me. This me. The real me. Really? How long have we been here? Why do I keep forgetting? Why do you keep changing? I'm so confused. Did I do something horrible enough to deserve this? You wish you had eyes. If you did, you could shed tears. What did I do to deserve this? You didn't do anything wrong. I don't remember you ever doing anything wrong. You were kind, even when you were suffering. What illness did I have? I don't remember. Something slow. You visited the hospital so many times. I came with you. His hand in yours. His tears falling onto your skin. His words of comfort, despite his own fear. Aren't you starting to remember? So what now? We're dead. What can we possibly do? He lifts his head and it draws close to you. Would his hand go right through your white, formless figure if he didn't stop halfway? I think you have power here. This place changes according to your wishes. I change too. You can build something here, but it never lasts. I always die and it starts all over again. Because you always know at the back of your mind. You've always known something was off. The world, the endless white, it obeys you. You mean I caused us both to die each time? It was my fault? He hesitates. I think it doesn't matter. The other versions of me, we brought it on ourselves. But I made them that way. He lets out a chuckle, and the clear, soft sound surprises you. It's so unlike how his voice has been so far. You wonder if that's how we sounded before all of this. We won't get very far by blaming ourselves. But I'm so grateful to speak to you again. He falters, a clear look of shame on his face. I've missed this. Being me and not a false version. Being with you. For real. I didn't like being them. Pretending, playing a role. His voice wavers. It hurt to see you suffer. When you fell into the lake, I wanted to save you. I was too weak, too confused. And the shades pulled us apart too. I could never reach you. I hated being the pink one, being condescending, trapping you. The blue one did too, but he didn't treat you as harshly. There's a long pause and his shame seems to deepen. But each one is still me. I know that. When you were ill, I wished to be by your side. All the time. I wanted to give you everything you wanted, and I wanted to keep you with me. I don't remember how I died. But I wonder if I didn't, if I followed you purposely, maybe I started this. You said not to blame ourselves. For what it's worth, aren't you hurt too? He touches his throat with the tip of his fingers. Am I? You look like you're in pain. You couldn't speak before. Yeah. This form is not like the others. It is wounded. That is true to who I am, I think. He falls silent, his hand still reaching for his own throat, as if now only realizing its state. You allow him a few minutes of rest before speaking again. What do we do now? I don't know. I think the loop won't start again. He looks up, around you. Doesn't the endless white feel more calm? Maybe now that we know the truth, maybe we can make something long-lasting. You really think it will go differently this time? He nods, perhaps too eagerly. Yes. If I am me, and you're willing to speak to me, then it has to. I still don't understand what this place is, or why we're here. I don't even know who I am. You see, you still don't remember your name? Do you? My name is Lionel. That's who I am. I think that's my name. Yeah. I finally remember. My name is Lionel. My life was unremarkable and then was tragic. I didn't have everything I wanted. My life wasn't free of obstacles. I envied the characters of the stories I read, and I wished my art could be something more than it was. When I fell ill, it felt so unfair. Why me? Why so early? Why so fast? Why do some people have wealth, health, and happiness, and I so little? But I did have him. My life wasn't perfect. My life was too short, and its end wasn't fair or happy. But through it all, he was there, crying with me, hurting with me. Even now, even in this form, he's here. Even now, his hand reaches for me. His hand can't make things easy. It can't remove the obstacles I will face. It can't bring me back to life. It can hold mine through everything, and it will never let go. Lionel. I'm Lionel. His eyes widen. The tears in them make them seem less glassy, more alive. Lionel. Of course you're Lionel. His tears flow and meet the corners of his lips as they stretch into a smile. I've missed you so much. His hand hovers near me again. This time, I reach out. I don't feel the touch of his skin or his warmth, but I feel his relief, his joy, and that's enough. We can't make the real world. What we create won't be the same. I understand. It will be difficult. There's so much to do, so many shades. They were alive too once. We have to help them. We can make this place. I'm not sure how to do this. My attempt so far, I haven't done very well. Let's try. Together. He nods weakly, and a tear falls onto our joined hands. We have nothing but time. I've spent countless days, months, years unable to reach you, unable to make you see me. So as long as your hand is in mine, as long as you look at me, I'll stay by your side, and I'll call your name. Until one day, we can stand in a place we can call home, and I can look upon your face, and you remember my name. So let's start trying, Lionel. My God, this game has no right being this beautiful. Holy heck. Oh God. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to play this for yourself, link to the game will be in the description below. And hey, oh my God. Oh, really? I know I literally said this before the outro, but still, it's way too beautiful. You guys have seriously got to try this out for yourself. It's absolutely lovely. I love it. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lionel signing off. Ciao.